Hello again. Today we are solving equations with imaginary numbers. Okay? So you might wonder, what is an imaginary number? Well, we'll get to that, okay? So here's what we're going to do. I have the equation x squared is equal to negative 16. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the square root of both sides of my equation. So when I take the square root of both sides, I'm going to get the square root of x squared is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 16. So I'll take the square root of x squared and get x, and that is equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 16. Well, up until now, if you ever get a negative inside of a square root, you'd say there's no solution. And that's because there's no real solution. But I'm going to introduce you to the concept of imaginary numbers. Okay? So what I can do is I can actually factor out of my radical the square root of negative 1. So then I have the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 16. All right? And I know the square root of 16, that's 4. So now I have x equals plus or minus 4 times the square root of negative 1. Well, there's a shorthand that we have when referring to the square root of a negative 1, and that is I. So I is equal to the square root of negative 1. So I would say that x is equal to plus or minus 4i. And that's how you solve that equation using imaginary numbers.